Hey guys, welcome back to another Pain Points mini episode. We've got Aubree Paige with us today. Aubree, hello.
Hello, guys.
So tell everybody, I know that your long format podcast went live this week, but in case somebody, has not gotten around to listening to it, shame on them if they haven't. But if they haven't.
Exactly, because it is now on all of my social media platforms. So.
Exactly. They should be listening to it everywhere. But if they haven't, tell us a little bit about yourself, like your name, your age, where you're from, your family status, all those good things.
Okay, perfect. Yes, I'm Aubree Paige on all social media platforms. I am 35, just turned 35, kind of. I'm holding on to it. Like, I'm not ready to go over that 35 hump, towards 40. I live in the Lufkin area, and I am a mom of 2. So, constantly busy.
Yes. Whenever you have kids of any kind, any ages, and yours are what, like 7 and 11?
9 and 11.
Oh, I got that wrong.
Sorry. 9 and 11. That's
9
okay.
and 11.
That's all right.
That's an age that'll keep you really busy.
It will. And the little girl is about to be 10. So we're all over the place right now.
Yeah. Fun times for you.
Fun times.
Yeah. So you are a concierge travel agent.
I am.
Sounds super fancy. And it kind of is, actually. So give everybody a little brief rundown of what that entails.
So we are, like you said, we're a start to finish travel agency. So a lot of clients want us to be very minimally involved, and we can do that. We can just book a specific resort, set up your airport transfer, and just, be done. But many people don't want that. They want us more involved. They want to be able to say, hey, I want to go here, and I don't want to think about it again until I board the plane. Yeah. And so that's where we come in. That's really where we specialize. We provide really beautiful itineraries, custom itineraries for you, especially for those that want us to be super involved. And I think that's where we shine. That's how we're different. We make sure that upon arrival, especially, in Mexico, that you have beer and water in your transfer on the way to the resort. We make sure that, before you even get there, the resort knows your name. So we have people at each resort that we're able to email and say, hey, I have Sarah headed to Unico next week. Please make sure that, if there's a room upgrade available, that she gets it. Please make sure that her mini bar is full of this because she prefers it. We set up your spa treatments if you want us to. We set up your excursion. We do it all.
Yeah. Well, whenever you're taking a vacation, sometimes you don't want to have to worry about those details.
Yeah.
Let somebody else handle it for you. And I think
you
that
do.
sounds
You just
fantastic.
you give us the idea of what you want, and then you're done.
What is the best thing about your job?
Oh my goodness. The best part is seeing my clients happy when they get there. So, for instance, and especially in this world with COVID, I've had so many honeymooners that had to cancel, or postpone. And, it's devastating when you've waited your whole life for this special moment and then it's gone. Yeah. So I've been able to help them get that honeymoon, even though maybe they weren't able to go to Greece like they wanted to. Instead we sent them to an overwater bungalow where we are able to go. Yeah. And seeing them just be so alive. As a matter of fact, I had a client's sister message me the other day and say, thank you so much. My sister, she canceled. We scheduled her honeymoon 3 weeks before she was set to travel because she didn't think she was going to get a honeymoon. Yeah. So she was like, thank you so much for doing this for her, So watching my clients get there, love what I've set up, see the small details that we give, and just really appreciate everything we put into their travel, it is the best part.
Yeah, I would imagine so. That sounds fun.
Yes.
When you were a little kid, or a teenager, what was the dream job that you really wanted? Was it the same as what you've got now, or did you?
No, it's not actually, but I did go to college for it. So I always wanted to be a teacher. So from the time that I was in the 2nd grade, I had a fantastic teacher, and I wanted to be her whenever I grew up. Aww. So I went to college, and I became an elementary education teacher, and I taught for 11 years. And then, things just started changing in my life, and I just got to the point where I didn't want that 7:30 to 3:30 job anymore. Yeah. I wanted to branch out and try something else. So I did grow up to be what I wanted. And I feel now that I still use some of those teaching things. I do a lot of TikTok videos, a lot of Instagram things where I teach, how to get this certain trip for a certain price, or
Yeah.
different things where I'm still using that
Teaching.
that teacher base, in me. But there are moments when I miss it, but in those moments I decide to coach a little dribblers basketball team and then realize why I'm not in that anymore.
It's really rare to have somebody who wanted to be a teacher when they were a child and then actually grew up to be a teacher. So that's pretty cool.
I never changed my, as soon as I went in as a freshman in college, I never changed my degree, never at all. I've never wavered.
Yeah. We're weirdos that way, I guess. So whenever some people have like a routine that they start their day in a certain way in order to set them up for the best success or the best positive frame of mind that particular day. What things do you do that kind of sets your day and set the tone for the day for you?
So for me personally, I have a lot of, I get a lot of direct messages on Instagram and on TikTok, things like that. And I can't start my day with that, because if I allow social media or work to rule my mornings, then they have ruled my day. Mm-hmm. So what I've had to set personal limits. And, I'm not a scroller. I don't have time to scroll Facebook. I don't have time to scroll Instagram. But I do enjoy scrolling sometimes. So what I personally have done to kind of set my mornings aside, I wake up a little bit earlier than the kids. I start my coffee. I get myself ready, and I give myself 15 minutes of scrolling, not answering DMs, not doing anything, just scrolling and just like seeing what people are up to. And then I make myself go work out. I go to CrossFit almost every single morning at 8:15. And then after that, after that is over, I'm then ready to start my day. And then I'll start with the DMs. I'll start with emails, working on my trips. But I really have to give myself that time in the morning to say, I'm not controlled by my job and I'm not controlled by my DMs.
Taking that little bit amount of time for your personal, just your own personal.
Yeah. So I do not start work ever before 9 a.m.
Sounds good. Do you have a current favorite song that you really just like really motivates and inspires you, or just like makes you dance in the car when you hear it?
So I don't really have anything like that, but I do have a favorite artist that I listen to while I work. So his name is William Singh. I guess is how you pronounce his last name, Singe. And he does covers. So he takes like all these songs that you already love. Okay, like for instance, just like, Pony by Genuine. Isn't that who sings it? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
He does a cover of it. And it's just like so like, you would never think it was Pony, you're listening to it and you know the words, so you're not having to think, but it's just beautifully like song. Like, he sings it just so perfectly where you're not like listening to Pony by Genuine,
Yeah. That kind of sounds like postmodern jukebox, where they take these very popular pop songs and they set them to like more of like 30s, 40s, 50s swing or jazz, or, and it's like, wait, is that what I think it is?
Is that what I think it is? So you're not like having to listen, but you know the song, so you feel you know what I mean? Like, obviously that was a terrible song to choose of all the songs he sings, but I just,
Yeah, no, that works for me. Do you have a favorite quote, or some quote that inspires you, or a quote that motivates you?
Yes, kind of. So, and I say kind of, but yes. So one day I was sitting, it's actually something I said to myself one day. Like, it's not even something someone else said. I got to the point in my life where I wasn't happy where I was, and I needed to change, but I had such a fear of failure that I didn't want to change, because if I tried something and I failed, then that's like the worst thing ever on someone that fears failure, right? We were really good at things we do, and we're purposely good. Like, we don't try things we're not good at. And so one day in my mind, I was just like, you know what? When my need for change finally outweighs my fear of failure, then I'll start seeing results. Perfect. And I was like, okay. And that's just kind of what I started living by. Like, if you're really wanting change, then you're not going to be afraid of the failure anymore.
Yeah.
And you're starting to results.
That's great advice. That's fantastic. I love it. You said you take 15 minutes in the morning to be able to scroll through social media. What are your top 3 favorite social media accounts on any platform?
Okay, so and they're like way different, each one. So one is, her name is Julian Taylor Style, and she's on TikTok. And she kind of has taught me, I didn't know much about like influencing or, I had like maybe 1,000 followers on Instagram not long ago.
Yeah.
And then as my TikTok started exploding, and I'm almost up to, I should hit like 60,000 followers today. I started realizing that like, I had people coming over to Instagram, which it's still not huge, but I'm up at like 4,500 followers now, which, is a big jump from 1,000.
Yeah.
But with that amount of followers on TikTok, you start getting brands that reach out to you. You start getting, different things that, are starting to happen. And I wasn't used to that. So I found this lady on TikTok, Julian Taylor Style, and she just kind of has taught me she doesn't even know she's done this, but like how to create a media kit, how to present that to brands that you want to work with instead of brands that want to work with you. You may want to offer me something, but I may not it may not be on brand for me. So how do I start working with the brands that I want to work with?
Okay.
And so she has really taught me how to do a lot of things. Another one I follow is Sarah Balmar. She's kind of a athlete, like a workout influencer. I followed her for years. I absolutely love her content. And then there's another lady named Exploring Amanda, and she is a travel influencer. She doesn't have a very large following. She has like 10,000 followers on Instagram, but her content is just so great. And so I kind of look to those brands and look to those I guess influencers to see like, okay, I like this, so let's see what I can do, what can I pull from that for me?
Good deal. Well, do you have anybody in your life or somebody who's online, I mean, maybe it's one of those three people you just mentioned, that's like a role model or a mentor for you that you really, can bounce ideas off of, or that you glean some pearls of wisdom from?
Yes. So our agency owner, Jennifer Brown, she is just brilliant when it comes to business, and she's brilliant when it comes to traveling. And so she's really poured all of her knowledge into me when it comes to, travel advising.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a type 7 Enneagram. I don't know if you do Enneagrams or not, but I'm a type 7. So that means I'm all over the place. I have 100 million ideas and I don't finish one. Like all these great ideas. Well, she's an Enneagram 8. So she's very planted and rooted, like she has roots. And so I'll throw out this idea to her and she holds me accountable to it, which is important, like, hey, I want to do this. Well, then in a week I haven't done it. And she's like, I want to see some progress on this because it was important to you. Not that it's, not for me, but for you, that was important. So
somebody who's keeping you accountable to the things you said you wanted to do. That's
absolutely.
fantastic.
Yes. And as an Enneagram 7, that's important because I could be all over the place every day. And so she really does. And then she helps me so much with, I'm fairly new in the travel world and I didn't expect to kick off like this. And so with COVID this year, I will have planned over $300,000 worth of travel in my first year with COVID. So it's kind of crazy. I never expected that to happen. And she's really been a mentor to help me. I don't know anything about travel to Japan. So she helps. Like, she puts me in connection with the people I need to know. She's just all around. She is obviously the reason I'm here. And she has helped me get this start.
That's awesome. Well, shout out to Jennifer. Good deal.
Yeah, Jennifer Brown. She's the original blonde of Vagabond Travel.
Gotcha. Well, let's round this interview out with what advice would you offer your younger self if you could talk to her today?
I would probably say just be yourself starting out. Like, don't allow society to create the box they put you in. You get to design it. You're going to be in a box, but you get to design that box, and it doesn't have to be any part of what others think it should be. Yeah. And I think if more people would stop saying, well, I graduated high school, so now I have to do this, and then I have to do this, and I have to do this, and I have to fit into this norm, and instead saying, you know what, I am a unique individual on this planet, and I'm going to embrace that. And just being true to you. I feel like that is the biggest piece of advice that I would have for myself.
Yeah, that's great advice. Current and past and future.
Yeah.
Well, Aubree, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day during a holiday week to come do this little video with us. And we really appreciate you sitting down with us a couple weeks ago to do your long format podcast. I'm really excited for people to hear that and to hear all the options that they have when it comes to traveling, and that travel is still a thing you can do these days, and you can do it safely.
I'm booking right now. I'm traveling in 11 days, so you can definitely still travel.
Good deal. Well, thanks guys for tuning in. If you want to listen to any of our podcasts, you can go to PaynePoints.com and click on the podcast tab. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, so don't miss a single episode. And Aubree, thanks so much. We'll see you later.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.